Welcome once again to Global Reports on Liberty Television. You can watch us across Nigeria on Star Times Channel 180 and on Free TV Channel 775 and on GoTV Channel 1110. On Strong Decoder Multi-TV will be watchable across Nigeria and across West Africa. We once again look at news reports that have been trending this week in the world's news. And I'd like to welcome our good friend, Mr. Ferdinand Okonkwo, again to the studio.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Trump.
You're welcome. And first of all, we'd like you to watch our global newspaper review. The New York Times newspaper from the USA on Monday carries a front page picture of the former presidents of the USA, Barack Obama, with the headline, "How Reading Nourished Obama During the White House Years," in which he admitted that in a noisy era of electronic information overload, printed books were a sustaining source of ideas and inspiration. The UK Guardian newspaper on Monday carries a front page article headlined "Trump attacked by former UK envoy over wiretapping claim," in which former UK envoy Sir Peter Westcott issued a withering criticism of Donald Trump and his inner circle, accusing them of making absurd, unthinkable and nonsensical claims against UK government's involvement in wiretapping of Trump's headquarters. The US Daily News on Sunday carries a front page picture and article headlined "The Father of Rock and Roll, Chuck Berry, 1926 to 2017," which relays the news on Sunday of the death of rock and roll music legend Chuck Berry at the age of 90 years. The UK Daily Express carries a front page picture of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, the Duke, Prince William, who is the son of Prince Charles, with the headline "Royals Stay Calm Amid Gun Terror in Paris." On a state visit to France this weekend was rocked by terrorism when a man attempted a gun attack on a security guard at Paris Orly Airport during their visit. The Daily Times of India on Sunday carries a front page article titled "Modi Picks Anti-Muslim to Lead UP the Landslide Win," in which it states that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi picked a controversial anti-Muslim candidate to head India's most popular state. Notorious Yogi Adityanath won a landslide victory to head Uttar Pradesh state last week. Today's US Washington Post carries a front page picture of the director of the FBI, James B. Comey, with the headline "FBI Chief Confirms Probe of Possible Coordination Between Kremlin and Trump Campaign," in which the FBI director confirms his agency's widespread investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election during a hearing before US lawmakers on Monday. And that's all from Global Reports newspaper reviews for this week. Watch this report from CNN.
Chuck Berry was one of the pioneers of rock and roll. His powerful guitar licks fueled hit songs such as Johnny B. Good, Maybelline, and Roll Over Beethoven. During the 50s and 60s, Berry's music signaled a new era in rock and roll. The singer's ability to seamlessly blend R&B and rock music made a strong impact on the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, to name a few.
It's very difficult for me to talk about Chuck Berry because I lifted every lick he ever played.
Berry experienced a career resurgence in the mid-80s and 90s. His music re-entered pop culture in films such as Back to the Future and Pulp Fiction. In 1984, Berry received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and a year later, he became the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's first inductee.
Mr. Berry.
Dynamite. Dynamite. Thank you.
On the heels of his induction, the Stones' Keith Richards invited a roster of great musicians to celebrate the rock icon's 60th birthday. Then in 1987, Barry was humbled to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I cannot describe. I don't have the voice, I don't have the wind, I don't have the spirit, but believe me, I'll remember it the rest of my life.
The married father of 4 repeatedly had trouble with the law. He was behind bars 3 times for charges ranging from attempted robbery to tax evasion and convicted of transporting an underage girl across state lines. However, Barry's career was not derailed.
That margin of glory is not too high, that margin of defeat then is also not too low. So I lived right through it without any pain.
Barry received the Kennedy Center Honor Award in 2000 and continued to perform well into his 80s. His remarkable contributions to music will forever remain a part of rock and roll history.
Well, a legend has gone. They did say the late Elvis Presley was the king of rock and roll, but they do agree that Chuck Berry was the real father of rock and roll. What do you say, Ferdinand?
Actually, he is called the father of rock and roll, not only because of the music aspect, but I believe one of the greatest things Chuck gave us is not music, it's idea. He introduced ideas that, garnished rock and roll. He brought rock and roll. He may not be the initiator, he may not be the originator. Anyway, there have been a serious argument, and it continues to be.
Some people say he did bring the elements of previous music.
He kind of brought ideas that nurtured rock and roll to what it is today.
And he influenced all of the modern musicians, even up to Michael Jackson, the Beatles.
Most of the people that reached their peak in music industry,
Rolling Stones.
Just watch their body language. Watch whatever they do. One way or the other, they copied from Chuck. Even when crisis of his life came in, obviously, when you are succeeding, some people are out there to pull you down. It affected him personally, but it didn't affect his music industry. Why? Because people succeeded in separating him from his achievements. People succeeded in separating Chuck from what he had achieved. What he achieved stood as a colossus, while his character and his personality was being run down. So, in every ramification, he's a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend. The legend is gone. And we must move on, like the legend. This week, the Chancellor, the leader of Germany, that's Angela Merkel, made a state visit. Was it a state visit or just a visit? Made a state visit to the USA and to meet the controversial president, who is Donald Trump, at the White House. Let's just take a look at the pictures of that interview, also from CNN.
There's a moment where, in the Oval Office, where the Chancellor and Trump do not shake hands. Let me play it for you.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. President, can we have a handshake, please?
Well, Chris, there's one thing we don't see here. It's a handshake. What do you see?
Well, it feeds into the perception, that awkwardness you were talking about between the two of them. If you were in the White House and this was your hope to show that this is a close relationship, perceptually, this did not do it. In the moment where you see Angela Merkel, she's actually, her leg is crossed over and she's leaning and facing toward the president.
Yeah.
And the president is giving no acknowledgement, almost like a cold shoulder. Perceptually, is it a cold diss? I don't think so in this. If anything, he seems like he's preoccupied. He's in a sprinter's pose. He's up at the front of the chair, he's tapping. wiretapping. We saw this posture when he was sitting with President Obama in the White House, in the Oval Office.
Which is
so it
interesting.
just seems like he's in another place.
And
not
when they
really
yell
focused.
I remember with Prime Minister Abe from Japan, they're yelling for them to shake hands. And he's new to this, but he's now been through it before, right?
Yes.
And obviously they still didn't do the handshake. Political commentators are focusing on Trump and Merkel's reaction when Trump answers the wiretapping question. So let's look at that part.
Okay.
As far as wiretapping, I guess, by this past administration, at least we have something in common, perhaps.
What do you see there?
Well, it's a double-take moment for her, and she'll look over at him and squint her eyes a little bit in a moment of confusion, maybe not exactly sure what he's saying or exactly how to respond to it. And then she returns back to a very calm manner, getting ready for the next question, to be ready for whatever's coming next. But she is slightly surprised by that comment.
You can see it when we play it slow-mo. All right, Chris, thanks so much.
So it's an interesting confrontation, that. You can interpret it many ways, but certainly Angela Merkel's visit to the USA is not going to be forgotten, and she certainly held her own when she was discussing some of the points that she does not agree with Donald Trump. What do you say?
Mr. Thor, you could see the visitor looking so relaxed, and the landlord
looking uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable. I can only tell one thing. And that thing we kept saying, that Americans that brought Trump will be the ones to carry the brunt of Trumpism. We will watch and see this development. We will enjoy this theater.
It's going to be an interesting.
It's going to be an interesting
4 years.
4 years. This 4 years is going to be interesting. They thought they could bring him to achieve that, maybe a world that is for America, by America, and only for America. I mean, it can't be possible. Obviously, America will need the world as much as the world needs America. Trump is coming with an idea of a clique within the system that wants just this America for themselves.
But also with a very
where you can easily isolate the whole world.
Yeah, isolationist ideas.
No, and the worst issue in Trump, you could see Merkel, a physicist. You could see how she naturally brought Trump to where he belongs, placed him where he belongs. You remember throughout his campaign, he attacked this woman left, right, and center.
Policy on immigration was nonsense. It was terrible.
That she's injuring Germany. Who is injuring who now?
I think Trump
Merkel
is
injuring Germany, or Trump injuring America?
I think so. I think Trump is injuring America.
He's injuring America. But we will watch this drama.
This drama will unfold.
Of course, unfold. They know what they brought, and they are going to face it squarely.
And they're going to have to live with it for the next 4 years.
I don't know how Trump will balance his overall personal interest.
But will you think
with Putin and the American interest with Russia? I wonder how he's going to balance it.
Well,
because he's owing that man a world of, goodwill for helping out. But the greatest enemy of American foreign policy is the Russians. Putin is trying to rebuild the Soviet Union. And what is the sole aim of rebuilding the Soviet Union? To challenge American hold on power. And the moment that is done, you know exactly what will be the result. I wonder how. That is why I said, for the next 4 years of this Trump administration, we are going to watch and see. Ours is to watch and see. The theater will unfold.
Well, I hope it continues peacefully. But Trump is a little bit of a warmonger, so it seems. Now we want to move on to back to Nigeria. And we want to look again at the Senate and the rejection of Ibrahim Magu as the EFCC candidate for the Director General.
Yes, Chairman of
Chairman. Watch this short video.
The 2017 budget proposal, the capital proposal,
Yes. Go ahead.
and we recovered 9.72 million US dollars cash and about 750 pounds cash. 750,000 pounds. No, not in in Kaduna. In Kaduna. So I'm just trying to see, and the other time we recovered, about 2 weeks ago, we recovered about 1.5.
This is interesting development that the Senate, right, have rejected Magu, but the President, that's President Buhari, wants him to stay on, I think, in an acting capacity. What do you think, Ferdinand?
The whole thing is confusing. Who rejected Magu after all? Is it the Senate?
Not the Senate?
Or the presidency that nominated him? Well, is Magu the only person that can fight corruption in Nigeria? No. Is Magu the only face of EFCC? No. Is he irreplaceable? No. He is replaceable. But what are we talking about right now? The point is that the president has seen him as a right candidate, nominating and renominating him. Now, Senate is hinging their reason for rejection of Magu on DSS report on him. I have access to his own answers to the report. If you go through his answers, point by point, he cleared, as far as that document is concerned, every allegation laid against him by the DSS. Because the DSS allegation was not deep. There is nowhere they directly held him responsible for anything that is corruption infested. Nothing.
And nothing has been proved.
Nothing had. All that they said against him was he was having two images. One image as an anti-corruption czar, and the other one he was hobnobbing with corrupt people. Yes. Have you ever had a reason to hold him responsible for one corruption tendency?
Yes.
Just one? No. Yet they said he is corrupt.
So what's
some people within the system have something to hide. But my fear is very simple. If the same presidency that nominated and renominated Magu could watch authorities under him to subvert his approval, then something is wrong somewhere.
Is it not that some people in the House are afraid of him or what he may expose them?
Yes, agreed. Some people must always be afraid of him. There are always people who must be afraid of him. But the truth of the matter is, how could the president be watching under his watch? A man nominated by him is being rejected by the same people under him. Something is wrong somewhere. It is either the president had lost control totally, or he doesn't understand governance. We must say it straight. Anti-corruption is one of the reasons why Nigerians voted massively.
APC in.
Anti-corruption is one of the reasons why Nigerians went for Buhari. Anti-corruption, the fact that we believe that this man will fight corruption to a standstill. The same issue is what the people under him, DSS, they report directly to the president. And if a report is emanating from the same DSS, shooting down a candidate of the president, what do you think is going on?
DSS is responsible straight to the president.
Senate as far as I'm concerned, I hold Senate. I don't hold them responsible for anything in this case. Magu was rejected by the president that nominated him. Are we playing game? Is this a film going on? Is there anything we don't know? Are the same people who pretend to fight corruption not fighting corruption after all? Something is wrong somewhere, and somebody must clear that. It boils down to the same letter our governor wrote to the president. Everything is pointing to the fact that the man is not in control. If he's actually in control, then he's giving us double figure, double face.
You think somebody in the presidency has got a...
Then you are the bulk ends on your table. The bulk ends on my table. If I am the president and you are shooting down my candidate, it's not that the president nominated him and then this report emanated. No. He nominated him, the report came, he renominated him, meaning that he didn't believe in the report.
He didn't believe in the report, that's what was said. That's
simple. He didn't believe in the report. If he doesn't believe in the report, and the report repeated itself the second time, and I read Magu's reply, this same DSS report had two copies. One said Magu has question to answer. The other one said Magu has no case to answer. The same day, dated the same day.
So what is the way forward? He can continue as an acting head of...
the way forward lies with our president. If we could watch DSS under him shut down Magu, I doubt much if Mr. President actually wants Magu to continue.
Well,
I doubt much.
This is an interesting issue, and it's obviously another issue that's going to go on and on for a long time. Well, I don't know, a very long time. It can't go on for too long. The situation has to be resolved. Unfortunately, everybody at home, for you at home, we are out of time. You can please contact us with your thoughts on Facebook at Liberty Global Reports page. You can also watch this program and some of the reports that we featured. And for more global reports, you can join us in the studio next Tuesday, same time, same place. And I'd like to thank our good friend Ferdinand for once more coming on the program. And I'd like to thank our production team and studio team here at our Kaduna studios. This is me, Arthur Brooks, from Liberty Global Reports, signing off for another week.